examples where 7-segment display is used, like digital thermometer, digital weighing machine, countdown at traffic lights, timing and temperature display on oven. Now this is how SSD actually looks like. It has 10 pins and 8 LEDs. You can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, 8 LEDs here, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, 8 pins for gluing these 8 LEDs. Now these 2 pins are for common. It means either we have to ground both pins or provide high voltage, and this will depend on what type of SSD we are using. Okay, as 2 types of SSD available in market, you can see common cathode and common anode. In common cathode, you can see LEDs will be forward bias only when both common pins are connected to ground. Okay, suppose if I want to glow this A named LED, then I have to provide logic 1 to A pin and logic 0 to common pin. Okay, similarly in common anode, LEDs will be forward bias only when both common pins are connected to VCC. And if I want to glow this A named LED, I have to provide logic 0 to A pin and logic 1 to common pin. Now in Proteus you have to write these keywords for SSD, like MPX1CC for common cathode and MPX1CA for common anode. And this is how SSD looks like in Proteus. Here are 8 pins A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, okay, for glowing 8 LEDs of SSD. And here is common pin which is connected to ground, as I would use common cathode SSD, okay, for simulation. And this is how you have to connect SSD with microcontroller via 330 ohm resistor. This is common cathode SSD, and this is a table which you have to make for coding this SSD. So first of all, you have to write all digits which you want to display on SSD like this. Okay, here you have to write pins of port with which you have connected these SSD pins. Okay, and now suppose if I want to display 0 on SSD, then I have to glow A, B, C, D, E and F LEDs of SSD. Okay, for that I have to provide logic 1 to A, B, C, D, E, F pins of SSD. Now if I want to display 1 on SSD, then I have to glow B and C LEDs of SSD. For that I have to provide logic 1 to B and C pins of SSD. So similarly you have to write values for other digits also and complete this table. Here you have to write hexadecimal value for respective digits. Now make sure while writing these hexadecimal value you have to consider RC7 as most significant bit and RC0 as least significant bit. And if you would use common anode SSD for project, then don't forget to provide logic 0 instead of logic 1 for glowing LEDs of SSD. Then you have to remake table and rewrite hexadecimal values. Now friends, I have made a schematic in Proteus with PIC16F887 microcontroller, and today we will display numbers on this SSD. Okay? As in MPLab IDE, you have to make project first before doing programming, and if you want to learn that, you can check my video on MPLab IDE. So this is the program for today, and first of all I have written a header line which is #include pic.h, and this is delay function declaration, and this is main function. At first I have initialized an array here because I want to display all 10 numbers from 0 to 9. That's why I have written hexadecimal value from 0 to 9 digits in this array. Now this is an infinite while loop which is having for loop, and this for loop is basically for showing numbers in increasing order, okay, in which we are assigning value of array to port C and calling delay function, which is here. Okay, once you are done with the programming, you have to save it, and don't forget to add your file to source files. After that you have to build your program and check for build successful condition, which implies this program is error free. Okay, now don't forget to link this project to the schematic in Proteus. For that you have to right click on microcontroller and select edit properties. Here you have to add hex file of project. Okay, now run it and see the counting. Now, by doing little bit changes in programming, you can display numbers onto SSD like this. You can also increase number by pressing switch like this. Even you can also decrease number by pressing switch like this. So you can do variations in delay, you can do variations in increasing and decreasing order. You can use common anode SSD, you can use common cathode SSD. So do variations and keep practicing. If you find any difficulty while doing this, you can write me on comment. I will try my best to help you. And if you find this video useful, don't forget to like it, and for further learning, subscribe my channel. Thank you.